On a 90-day fiancé, before the 90 days, Gino Palazzolo and Jasmine Pineda may have gotten back together, but it's unlikely that they'll get a happily ever after if they get engaged. Gino, 51, met Jasmine, a 34-year-old single mom from Panama City, on an international dating site. After a lot of unsuccessful local dating, Gino had a sugar daddy past which he kept hidden from Jasmine, along with the fact that he was still chatting with one of his sugar baby exes. Jasmine caught Gino sending her nudes to an ex, which led to a terrible fight between the 90-day fiancé couple. Fans thought the pair would break up, but in a plot twist, Gino convinced Jasmine that he really loved her, and she promptly took him back. After realizing how easy it will be for him to lose Jasmine if he doesn't keep her happy, Gino has been treading carefully and doing his best not to upset her. After they patched things up, Jasmine took Gino to western Panama to introduce him to her mother and sister. Once they reached David City and settled in at the resort, Gino left the 90s Jasmine alone to go sightseeing, when he'd actually had a different plan. Gino ended up at a jewelry store, where he bought Jasmine an engagement ring. "I plan to ask her to marry me before I go back to the United States," confessed Gino, who eventually ended up picking a $270 ring. Gino hoped that Jasmine would like the ring since she believed he had poor taste. Owing to him being unemployed after losing his job during the COVID-19 pandemic, Gino was on a super budget and couldn't get Jasmine an expensive ring. "I hope Jasmine sees how serious I am with this ring, and despite all the problems that we have, she says." "Yes," admitted Gino. Fans wonder if it's wise for B90's Gino and Jasmine to forget everything that's happened in the past few days and immediately jump into marriage and a future together. While Gino's plan was to come back to the US after making Jasmine his fiancée, he was the one keeping secrets from her despite a full year of online dating. While Gino knew how insecure Jasmine was about his exes, he kept in touch with one and even betrayed Jasmine's trust by forwarding her private photos to the woman. Gino wanted to show off how hot Jasmine was to the woman to spite her, which could be a sign that he still's not over her. What's worse is that after the altercation in San Jose, which almost turned physical after Jasmine swiped Gino's hat off his head, the couple is basically back to square one. For one thing, Jasmine would never be able to trust Gino again, which she proved by asking him for evidence and reports when he went ring shopping. Gino mistreated her in ways that made fans wish he would be kicked out of the franchise. While Jasmine's heart may have melted at Gino's declarations of "my intentions are long-term and you are the only one I care about," fans could see through his lies. They knew he would probably hurt her again. Gino's lack of awareness of the seriousness of him violating Jasmine's privacy, not to mention him attempting to gaslight her by claiming the photos weren't even nudes because they just showed her chest area, shows he is not as innocent as he seems. Gino's mistake also cost the 90s Jasmine her job. She got fired after his ex allegedly shared the photos. Meanwhile, Jasmine was secretly on birth control when Gino was intending to get her pregnant at the end of his Panama trip. This was a big sign that Jasmine didn't trust Gino from the start. He didn't take Jasmine's vegan lifestyle into account, nor did he take her advice when she wanted to give him a makeover before he could meet her close friend. Also, Jasmine was handed a flimsy electric toothbrush as a Christmas gift when employed Gino could magically spend $2,500 on their island vacation. As well, Jasmine, who was jealous of a waitress when Gino tipped her extra at a restaurant on their first date, will surely revert to her old ways and start doubting his every move all over again. These are just some of the problems between B90's Jasmine and Gino that were caught by the 90-day fiancé, before the 90 days cameras, and they are reason enough for them to rethink the engagement, which could possibly take place within the next few episodes.